If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a new evolution to talk about. So this evolution is called the Champions. The Champions what? Team of the Season Champions upgrade? No. The Champions Corner. That's what it's called. Where is it? Okay. So it is a free upgrade for the cards. Interesting. So a cool evolution, to be fair. This is, again, one of the best features in this game, to be fair. Especially since evolutions for, like, base cards, like, for bronzes all the way until now, like, they don't really feel that special. But when they actually give it to specific cards that do have good base characteristics, that's when evolutions is a W, right? And it's just because of how the gameplay is, but you guys know. Anyways, this one gives you stat boost, so it's mostly stat boost. But there are, like, chained evolutions for some of these. If you did end up packing some cards, like some of these guys, I'm going to tell you right now, very, very solid options. This one being, I think, one of the top options. If you got this card as a red pick, right? In my opinion, the card by default was already a very nice player, right? In my opinion, I thought he was very, very cool. And what's interesting about him is that all of these upgrades that they have now been giving him, especially since there's 2 different upgrades for the card, it's even better because you can just give him a Hawk chemistry style and not be as mindful about the pace not being in a specific area, right? But Nkunku in game, guys, is a very, very solid option, right? So if you have been doing the Evo on this Nkunku card, first of all, 122k, I mentioned in the review as well, very cheap, right? But with how he performs in game with the upgrade and then the upgrade on top of that, it is definitely a W for sure, right? It's very, very important to work with cards that just have the right base mechanics, and in my opinion, he has it, right? Like whether that's you using him as an attacking oriented center mid or as an actual like one of the attackers up top, like even as one of 2 strikers, as a lone striker, like the card moves, man. Like he's very, very good. So this one being the top choice, I think is very valid. I think it makes a lot of sense for people to go down that route if they wanted to. Allister is also another one that if you did a double upgrade for, again, you get a pretty solid player if you ended up getting him from your foot champs rewards, because to be fair to him, he is formatted for a shadow chemistry style. I would say one more evolution on top of that would be nice, but this is a very, very competent card in the meta of the gameplay, right? The improvements that he has received from both of the evolution upgrades have definitely been a W. Now, one thing I will say, right, is that interception stats being higher would definitely have been very nice to work with that intercept playstyle even more. But I'm going to tell you guys this right now, man, from Allister, reviewing his showdown card and checking him out after the upgrade, Allister is actually very solid to use. So if you like playing those sort of formations like 4-1-2-1-2, 4-3-3s, and he's being played as like one of 3 mids or one of 2 mids, he does a really solid job, man. He even has shooting capabilities. The playstyles that he's working with is mainly in the passing one, right? The pinged pass is really nice. Power shot, maybe if you get into certain situations. But yeah, definitely not a bad choice as well if you went down that route. Szoboszlai is a card that definitely needed upgrades in order for him to be significantly more usable, right? Because the card is just formatted strangely for the most part. It's interesting with him now because they have improved him to a point where, like, if you were to give him an engine chemistry style to boost his pace, his passing, and his dribbling as much as possible, the card is more usable now, but he's still a little bit strangely formatted. Do I think he would still do a pretty decent job? Yeah, I think if you're a guy that's decent at the game and you give him a hunter chemistry style, like this is a card that can work more in the meta of the gameplay, right? Especially since his dribbling is the main piece that needs to be improved constantly, right? Because, you know, he's working with his body type, his height at 6'1", and those things are always going to be pretty noticeable in game, right? So double upgrade for this card with Liverpool fans not looking too bad there. Nkunku trending is definitely a very valid one, like I said, because meta-wise, I do feel like he makes a lot of sense. Like I said, for 122k, I was even telling people in the review, it's a very, very cheap card, right? Saint-Maximin, same thing here, where if you did get his red player pick, right, during those rewards, and you got a 5-star version of him. He looks pretty solid, right? This card on a marksman chemistry style with the improved shooting capabilities, dribbling capabilities, as well as the physical capabilities. It just seems like a very well-rounded team of the season card that you can just add into an evolution and just kind of cook with, right? With the French links that he offers you in the team. Al Ali is not too bad either. I think there's the Firmino link. Riyad Mahrez obviously would be a good link too. So Saint-Max on one side, Riyad Mahrez on another would be a really cool thing to work with. Vega, who cares about Vega, to be honest, but like Mahrez and Saint-Max are actually players that you can use in the meta of the gameplay and do really well with them, right? Good play styles as well, right? So not bad if you did end up going there. This one should have a double upgrade. Good. There's certain cards that the guys at EA, even they know, like this card needs a double upgrade for him to like really cook in game, right? Garnacho's definitely one of them as well. Yet again, another card that you give a marksman chemistry style to, but base card stats being improved in multiple areas of the card just makes him very competent to use in the meta of the gameplay. Like I said, it's very important to have evolutions like this, because Garnacho at first, when you're first initially using him, you're like, yeah, this guy could use an upgrade, right? And then they drop an evolution for him, but then they dropped both evolutions on him for today, right? The Team of the Season Champions upgrade into the Champions Corner, especially for Man United fans, you get a card that will play really well in the meta of the gameplay for sure, right? It's a card that has very good play styles to work with. The play styles, the dribbling stats have been improved, which is obviously incredible, to put him at a 99 for everything to kind of compensate for this game. So very good there, right? Very good. Aubameyang, also another choice here. This is like a physical type attacker in the game, right? I've never tried him in game. Some people say that they actually like him a lot, but I have no idea. He does look very interesting on that engine chemistry style, boosting the pace, the dribbling, and the passing to be as high as possible, as well as working with mid-90s for shooting as well. So he looks like he could be a pretty decent option too, especially since you are going to be adding him into the Champions Corner. So this is something that my homie could do if he actually ended up choosing this card, but I'm not really sure what he's going to get in his Foot Champs rewards for this weekend. So it all depends, right? But yeah, Aubameyang is one of the choices too. I don't know if he's like a top choice, but yeah. Raphinha, so it's interesting with this card, right? So he has a Team of the Season live that gets the upgrades from the live, but then you have this version that if you chose from the red picks, but you had no idea that EO were going to do this, but the evolutions kind of gives you the choices of being able to upgrade him once, being able to upgrade him twice, and work with a card that is a little bit meta to work with, quote unquote, Inception quotes. But yeah, marksman chemistry style, physical, shooting, dribbling being improved. This is a very solid card, right? He has some very good play styles for the most part, right? Technical plus quick step is very nice. Chip shot has to be very situational for sure, but again, look at all the play styles that he's working with for you to kind of like have fun with him. He's got trickster as well for certain situations too, so you really can't go wrong with this choice as well. Okay, so continuing on, let's see what other choices we have here from the Champions Corner. Is Bisseck in this? Oh, he is. That's nice, actually. Yeah, that's actually really cool. So red pick into red. Yeah, but you know what? Even if you just got him as a red pick and you can put him in the Champions Corner, like that's a very solid pull. Bisseck is a very solid center back in my opinion. I think he's just the type of guy that you kind of want, right? A tall guy, 6'5", got the body type. Like I think Relentless Plus is really crazy because it's all like second man press is like a really big deal, and the fact that he could do that consistently is great. He's got Jockey Plus to work with Block Plus. He also still has regular intercept, right? So yeah, no, if you have Bisseck in your team, you would be going with a very solid choice too. Like Bisseck is actually still very nice. Saint Juiced for the Sporting fans. Can't go wrong with this. I have no idea how this card performs in game, to be fair. But he doesn't look that bad, eh? Shadow Chemistry Style to boost the acceleration and pace to be as high as possible. It's not necessarily terrible. Can he switch to the fullback position? He can, right back, but his dribbling is probably... Oh no, his dribbling is okay for the right back position. Yeah, not bad for the Sporting fans, eh? Especially if they have like... If they have like a Gyökeres card... Ooh, let's be real. It's probably gonna get a Team of the Season, right? But if they have like a... If they have like a Team of the Season version of him that's like 5-star, 5-star, like this would be a kind of cool card to use in the game, right? For the Sporting links especially, wouldn't be bad. Nuno Mendes gets one too. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good too. Red pick from Nuno Mendes into a double upgrade. as a fullback, the upgrades are very nice, truth be told, right? Especially since you can give him an anchor chemistry style to boost his pace to be as high as possible. High work rates, 5-star weak foot. Excuse me, defensive stats massively improved as well as the physical. Like, this is a very solid card. Meta-wise, for PSG links, for the Portuguese links, especially if you ended up packing like Vitinha and stuff, pretty nice. It's actually pretty nice. I think you have like a couple of options to work with here. There's players like the lower rated ones, like Tapsoba, Adeyemi, Bayer. You could go with Xavi Simons if you want. Xavi Simons has a certain body type that would throw me off a little bit, though. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But he's still pretty usable for sure. But yeah, no, the top choices definitely make sense. I like Nkunku a lot. McAllister got a good upgrade. Same Max is good. Garnacho's nice. Aubameyang could be nice in game. I have no idea what he's like. Raphinha is cool. Bisseck's definitely really cool. Nuno Mendes is definitely a top choice in my opinion. I think this would be a top choice because he's not formatted for a shadow. He's formatted for an anchor. And I think that adds to the card quite a bit. Really high pace, defensive stats, physical stats. Some pretty decent play styles. He doesn't have a lot of defensive stuff, but the thing is that this card, he had a card earlier in the year. It was like an evolution card that I was trying out. And it was very solid, like in the left back position during that time period. So I can only imagine the team of the season version being a little bit better to work with in a general sense, right? So the evolution definitely looks really cool. I just want to make sure that I don't miss out on some bigger ones, because obviously there's those lower rated ones that you could just make into cards that are a little bit better to work with in the current meta, right? But yeah, Champions Corner, you also have a card like Rùben Neves. So these are like the massive upgrades, right? So a card like this, I mean, you can kind of go in any direction. Anchor wouldn't necessarily be terrible because I think he's still a medium high. Yeah, he's still a medium high. He has really good play styles in a general sense, right? Plays for a good team, Portuguese links. I'm curious as to how this card performs in game because he does have very good play styles. Power shot, I don't really care too much about, but long ball pass, bruiser plus, still has regular and intercept as well as anticipate from the double upgrade there too. Oh, so you put him into Champions Corner first and then Team of the Season Champions upgrade afterwards for that card. That's not too bad, actually. Hernandez gets one as well, just from a regular improvement. Shadow chemistry style makes him a controlled, lengthy player. Really good pace improvement. Defensive stats in a better area. And then for physical capabilities, he's also in a very solid spot too. No idea how this card performs in game. We did end up packing him in the rewards that I didn't end up doing the review for these Bundesliga cards because my motivation was 0%. But Shadow chemistry style for Hernandez with the acceleration and sprint speed being drastically increased with very good defensive stats, physical stats being in a very solid area. He's definitely really well formatted. Like, he can actually be a very solid center back in game, especially with that slight upgrade. Otamendi for the Benfica fans. Zakaria. Sergio Busquets would be a good upgrade, actually. Shooting, dribbling, and physical. That wouldn't be a bad upgrade either. Busquets is actually nice in game. I tried him out too. He's pretty solid. Gabriel is a pretty big one too. I like what they did with Gabriel because people actually use him in the higher divisions when they need specific links with specific cards, because of the evolutions that they added to the cards, right? If it was just like the original card without the evolutions, it would be a little bit more annoying to work with in the current meta. But with the improvements that they did end up giving him from these champions upgrades, it's a significantly better card, right? Like, to use in game. Pep also gets one as well. So obviously for the Porto fans, Real Madrid fans, if they want to make some sort of like past and present, can't go wrong with that. Previous Sporting too, eh? Romero gets one, Team of the Season as well. Loftus-Cheek, that's actually not a bad one if you did get the red version of the card. Loftus-Cheek is nice, man. When I tried him out in game, he was actually a very impressive card. Benjamin White gets a double upgrade too. Guys, like I said, all of these cards, like, don't think it's like, oh, you know, like, it's white, it's only white. Like, these cards are actually very competent to use. Like, people will use these guys in the top divisions after the evolutions, right? Are they the absolute top choices? No, but to make these cards proper meta cards to use is really cool, even under the current circumstances, right? That's why evolutions is generally an update, a W, sorry. Bentaleb, Klaus gets one too. Dante White, Vertonghen, Loco, Espilicueta, Todibo, Anton. Balotelli would be cool. I gotta keep it a stack with you guys, man. I think this card would be really sick in game. If he's anything like that SBC card, this is a crazy card, bro. Especially, it's a shame that they don't give like the plus links. Plus links would be a really crazy thing to give a card like Balotelli. This guy, he might be like my Benzema, honestly. I never tried out that blue card again because motivation was very low, but he might be my other Benzema because, like I said, I tried out that Christmas card, and that Christmas card, bro, the only problem that card had, in my honest opinion, in a general sense, was the chemistry links, because that guy was a beast. So good in game, in my opinion. But Coman gets one as well. I'm not really crazy about how Coman generally feels, but again, they do improve these cards to a point where they're very solid to use in the meta, right? Dante... Openda gets one as well, right? This is from a Champions cover. Never tried out this card, but an interesting thing with him is that he has press proven plus, because in the past with Openda's cards, his body type would just throw him off way too much. Like the cards, they would release like SBCs and stuff for him, and to be fair, he was completely irrelevant, right? Because he was just like an art trigger merchant, in my opinion. But this card, he could be an art trigger merchant while being able to dribble properly as well, which I think would be a really big deal. But like I said, never really tried out that card either, so I have no idea what he's like. Garnacho again gets the upgrades. Yeah. Excuse me. Nkunku is cool. David Costa to make those cards more usable. Malin would be cool if he was like a 5-star minimum something, you know. Yeah, and I think the rest of them will just be like sentimental cards that you can improve to be meta enough. Like none of these cards are like complete garbage, guys. Like some of them would be garbage if they stayed the way they originally were, but a lot of these cards are very usable now, which is a really cool thing, to be fair. So yeah, W evolution, a lot of good choices to go with. I like the direction of this one. This is a very, very, very nice one in my opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.